Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Vocast. I'm your host, Drew. We'll be doing yet another reaction today. This was going to be to someone that we haven't covered on the channel yet, but I've been getting a lot of requests for it. It's going to be her first name is Diane. I'm not going to try and pronounce her last name because she has a last name that I do not want to butcher. So, we're going to be reacting to her performance of Can't Help Falling in Love on a singing show. I believe it's in Russia, if I remember correctly. I've been told that she has among the lowest timbres of all female voices, so I'm intrigued. So this will be a first-time reaction to her content and performances. So with that said, we're going to jump into the reaction portion where I do not stop listening. And then after that, there will be a brief break. There will be a portion where I break down her voice and her techniques. Now, with that said, let's jump in. All right, folks, so let's dive into this performance of Can't Help Falling in Love, a classic from Elvis Presley in the, I believe, the 60s. So let's see what she sounds like. I've been getting some people telling me she's a dramatic contralto. And if that is indeed the case, this will be a really, really interesting. So with that said, let's jump in.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Dramatic contralto to the max, people. Holy crap, what a dark timbre. Yeah, me too, girl. Me too. What is this voice right now? This is impossible. This. So, okay, I'm gonna have to find the longest performance because, like, that one cut off a little early, I think, but what is that voice? What is that timbre? Hello? Okay. Okay. We've got some still cool stuff to talk about. So, yeah, so This is ridiculous. Dramatic contralto indeed. Anyway. All right, so give you a few seconds here, and then we're gonna move on to the reaction and the analysis and breakdown portion. So, just a few seconds, and then I'll meet you over there. All right, folks. So this brings us to the breakdown and analysis portion. So normally I would break down arrangements in addition to your vocal techniques and such, but seeing how this appears to be a live performance in some shape or form, I'll just be breaking down her voice, her vocal techniques, and anything that she did in this performance that seems unique. So with that said, let's listen to Miss Diana again, because holy dark timber Batman.
Wise men say only fools.
So I can't see her tongue here. So really, some people may ask why that's a big deal, but she's got such a dark timbre, so incredibly dark, that it almost sounds like it's being over darkened intentionally. And I've been told reliably that Miss Diana here is not intentionally over darkening, so I want to see her tongue position whenever she's singing live here to really confirm that. What does tongue position have to do with it? Well, if you have your tongue up in your mouth, it blocks some of the air and it makes it easier to have a dark tone. I don't 100% know if that's the best way to explain it to you guys, but typically if you're going to intentionally darken or over darken your tone, you're going to want to have your tongue off of the back of your teeth. So, and that will typically bring more of a dark tone. So it'll be something like this. So I'm going to sing a note and then I'll show you what I mean. So this is going to be normal straight tone without any over darkening whatsoever. And my tongue was positioned on the back of my bottom teeth. Now that's your typical tone if you're just not trying to darken. Now, if you were trying to over darken, you would want to move your tongue to a more of a position that seems like you're sticking it up into your mouth like this. Because that right there would help over darken. So instead of being like this, so you could be like this. So it sounds a lot darker, and like that's the effect that that's the effect that tongue position has on darkening of a timbre if you're trying to do it intentionally, like intentionally trying to darken it. That's a long explanation, but I want to see her tongue position, and then we'll be able to truly tell if she's over darkening or if this is just natural. This is an insane timbre out of a female. I can't help. So this woman is singing in the low third octave in her chest voice. That is ridiculous. Females should not be able to sing this low. So let me see what her lowest note is in this first little part here. Just D flat, C sharp 3, which is crazy low. This woman is almost singing in the second octave in her chest voice. If that doesn't tell you how crazy she is with this range. Most females cannot sing. Usually, most can't sing in the bottom third octave with this clean of a tone, with this kind of vocal fold closure. This is crazy.
falling in love with you.
So her F3 there, it's even darker than mine, and I'm a low baritone. She's sitting here like this. Oh, oh. She's got a darker F3 than I do, and I'm a man.
Wise man say,
So her mechanism for this is pretty pulled back, pretty simple. A little bit of breath behind it, but that's there for the volume and building of intensity throughout the performance. Nothing too crazy here. She's got good control in this low range, that's for sure. So
only fools rushing.
And for those that don't know, a contralto is the lowest female voice it's the lowest female voice classification that there is currently out there right now. It's the lowest, and there's no lower for a female voice classification, and it's there to describe the lowest of the female voices, similarly to how the lowest of male voices is considered a bass.
But I can't help.
So she did go into the top of the 4th octave in this past little bit here, and the dark timbre kind of cuts out a little bit, and you hear a little bit of a brighter timbre. But I guess that, for me, it sounds like that dark timbre is cutting out a little bit, simply because she's getting close to the top of her range, as far as like chest range, because a lot of times whenever you're singing in the top of your range, your timbre will brighten up no matter how dark of a timbre you actually have. It's just the nature of how the human voice works, especially when you're singing higher. Your timbre is going to go up. It is going to get brighter.
Falling in love.
And then she's back down to her darker timbre here. Timbre, I mean. Me too, girl.
But I can't help.
Still super dark timbre here. Okay, right here. That right there was literally, that was more of a traditional timbre that you would expect out of a female singer. And that timbre is bright for her. This is crazy. And I'm excited for this next section. She just goes crazy with the belting. So that's a C5. I believe that's in chest. We can fact check that, but I'm almost positive that C5 is in chest. She's in the 5th octave, F5, E5. I forgot, I mentioned, hold on. I was mentioning tongue position earlier and I wasn't watching for it, so look. Look at that tongue position. Look at this. Her tongue is in the bottom of her mouth. So that means that this is about as natural as it gets. Of course, you can still over darken without your tongue being up in your mouth and your tongue against the back of your teeth, but you really need the tongue in a different spot other than the back of your teeth if you want to truly over darken something. So this is natural, folks. She's not, I don't think she's over darkening much, if she even is at all. Wow. She's got a very dark F4, and I can't even get that dark of an F4 unless I intentionally way over darken it. She's belting hard here. That is just ridiculous. I mean, how does this woman exist? How does this female voice exist? This female has the voice of a high baritone in a female body. Or perhaps a low tenor. Just beyond me, man. This is beyond me. I really dig it. And you know what's even better? You've got a dramatic contralto that is really strong with belting. She's a very good belter. Listen to how tight these notes are. Just listen to this. So she is without a doubt belting here, and the major difference between her and your traditional female voice is that she is just, her belting is happening at a much lower position in her voice. I mean, her tessitura really lies like in the third and fourth octaves here, and that's very, very low for a female voice. And her belting is in the top, like the top-ish portion of the fourth octave. That's about the section where she starts having to belt in order for the notes to sound good. Then she's going up into the fifth octave too, obviously, like this here. And she's just belting it out. Super clean tone. Super, super solid. Being a dramatic contralto and having those smooth, buttery smooth even, buttery smooth fifth octave belts. But that, like I said, that's the main difference between her being a dramatic contralto and the rest of most other female voices, is that her tessitura just lies within the third, fourth octave, when primarily the third octave, it seems like, where compared to most other females, their tessituras lie in the fourth, fifth octaves even. As a whole, that's a blanket statement. That's not for every specific individual or every specific female voice. So, God, how do these people exist? So, thank y'all for suggesting Miss Diana here, because I needed to hear this. Now I need to do more content involving Diana. Wow. Let's listen to this belt section one more time, and then we'll wrap this up. Her mouth is wide open, by the way, so she's really filling out the space, in addition to her tongue position being on the back of her teeth. Solid. Very solid. See, notice how she's belting in such a low area of her voice compared to most other female voices. Right here. That is ridiculous, guys. I'm just... People never cease to amaze me. People never cease to amaze me. I just... There will be more of Diana in the future on this channel. 100%. I gotta hear this voice more often now, so... Anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of today's reaction and analysis. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Drew on the Vocast. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, throw me a like on the video. Throw me a subscription if you're watching and you're enjoying the content. If you're gaining musical knowledge and you're getting enjoyment out of these videos, do me a huge solid. Leave a comment, leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, we would love to have you. We've got some extremely exciting things coming up in the coming months. We've got some cool podcasts coming up with the Bass Gang. More members of the Bass Gang, I should say. We've also got Miss Jennifer Glatzoffer making an appearance very soon as well. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be next weekend. So going into the new year. And also, this will be the last video that you see me record in the year of 2022. This video will likely be going up after January 1st or on January 1st of 2023. So if you're seeing this, I hope you had a fantastic New Year's. I hope you celebrated safely. And as always, this has been Drew on the Vocast. Take care of yourselves. I love you. Bye.